Hey, welcome everyone back to Mrs. Pregame. We got Cardo W. Jr. here with us. Wilson Tarbett Jr. The Mystics are back in action. This time they are on the road. Fix that real quick. They're on the road. Take on the New York Liberty. Washington's coming off a wild win against the Toronto Temple a couple of nights ago. They ended with a Sonya Citron game winner after a flurry of late bombs from Marina Mabry that almost willed Toronto to a win. The Liberty are currently on a 6-game win streak. The latest being a 104-90 win over the Dream. Shocker. New York's gotten going as soon as they started to get a little healthy. These teams met earlier this season in Washington. The Liberty outlasted the Mystics 98-93 for the overtime win. Injury report, the Mystics will be without Kiki Ariafin, who's still out with that sprained ankle. There are no injuries to report for the Liberty. So, Cardell, Washington played New York pretty tight in their first matchup. What do they have to do this afternoon if they wish to even the season series?
Play a much better complete game than they did against the Tempo throughout the whole game. Let's call it what it is. They done with a juggernaut this evening, not tonight, this afternoon. Yeah, Asia's the best player in the game. You can make an argument that Brianna Stewie, she's second best. John Quill Jones, first ballot Hall of Famer. You got a lot to deal with. There's a lot of heat over there, and this is going to be a test for the Mystics to just see how much the youngest really have grown over the last month or so since the beginning of the season have grown. The Liberty are, I mean, they're complete, man. And to make they're sixth in the WNBA, scoring 88.6, but their efficiency, they're fourth in the WNBA, 45.7%. They're fourth in the WNBA three-point shooting, 36.2%. First in free throw percentage in the WNBA, 86. Third in rebounding, 36.4. Fourth in assists, 21.1. And this is with Sabrina Ionescu only really playing one game because she's been dealing with injury. So she's not even been a factor. So what's going to happen when you add her? That's what I mean. Like they clicking on cylinders as far as both ends of the floor. Defensive rating 104.5. Offense rating third in the league, 111.9. Fourth in the league in defensive rating. Like they're dangerous, man. The one thing that the Mystics can kind of attack and try to exploit. They don't get in the passing lanes a lot. They're 15th in steals, 5.8. They more so just guard you straight up, fundamentally sound, clog the paint or whatnot. So, the Mystics run a lot of sets with all ball sets where they try to get their shooters open, all that. So this is a chance for them to kind of have a little daylight to get in prime scoring positions, maybe pump fake, dribble in it if they're not hitting it in three-pointers. They can have a little bit more breathing room compared to other teams who are very enthusiastic about getting in the passing lanes and getting steals and whatnot. The problem is once you catch the ball, they're going to be right there in front of you. So you got to make quick decisions and make something happen. And obviously Stewie, Jones, Phoebe, and all those ladies, they down there waiting on you. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, they don't block a lot of shots. They 11th in the WA 3.5. But I think that's just Stewie and John Quill pacing themselves. I think in the playoffs that'll go up. And then turnovers, they 11th. They average 14.5 turnovers. So the Michigans capitalize off of their mistakes and run. They don't like to run. Obviously, like I said, they got an older team, veteran team. They just get the job done, kill you in the half court, and try to make it through the season healthy. Their pace, the Liberty, they're 10th in pace, 78.5. So that's something the young Mystics can try to exploit, especially players like Cody and Sonya, Shakira, the more athletic ones that can get up and down. But yeah, with that being said, that's the team things they got to worry about. But, we all know you got to try to slow down Stewie and John Quill, keep them off the boards, hold them to one shot. Don't let them just completely control the game by scoring, rebounding, and facilitating, getting everybody else going or whatnot. That's when they become impossible. Like Pauline Astier, last game, she come off a big game against the Dream, 16 points, 6 to 10, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah, she's been holding it down at guard with Ionescu out. quiet as kept. Sabali coming off, Satu Sabali coming off the bench, 19 points, 3 rebounds. That's like I said, Bachelor Laney Hamilton. People like to forget about her. I know how nice she is. She was a big key to when they won the championship last. Uh, she could be a problem on both ends, defending and whatnot. Um, Gardner out of UCLA, veteran, 6'1", just more depth in the front court for the Liberty that know how to play, averaging 6 and 2. Like they're a problem, man. So this is going to be a test to really see where the Mystics are, how far along they are as far as developing and trying to turn this thing around, get back. Because basically they're a 500 team now. If they get a win today, especially where all accounts, it looks like Kiki won't be playing. Even if it looks like she's out again, even more so. If you're able to pull out a win on the road without her against the Liberty, that should give you the confidence. Like, all right, let's try to put a run together and move up in the standings and whatnot. Because they've been right there in a lot of games. There's only been a couple games where they just got destroyed, but they've been right there with a lot of games, and then self-imposed mistakes, similar to what we saw in the finals with the Spurs, takes them out late in the games, and that's why they're where they are in the standings, man. 5 and 6. So be a good little test. I'm looking forward to just seeing how they handle this, especially on the road, man. Because let's be real, for a lot of rookies, this is their first road test against a championship caliber team.
Yeah, I'm right with you. And in that first outing, obviously New York wasn't fully healthy, but you brought up Astier. In that game, she was huge. She had 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists in that game. And that was the first. That was super early in the year. It was a Mrs. first home game. As you talked about, she just had 16 the other night, and it went. She's one of the people that's taken full advantage and got super comfortable throughout New York, missing some of their bodies. You talk about Satu coming back and them meshing. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a test, and I really like the point you brought up about the end of the game, like just late in games things. Like we get a chance to see if they learn what they've learned from all these late game situations they've been in. Because as you said, outside of a couple games, it's all come down the stretch, man. Just of how they've either managed well down the stretch or they didn't manage well down the stretch, and that ended up being the outcome. Talking about the turnovers, even going back to that game went in overtime. Um, New York had 15 turnovers in that game. Washington had 13. So I'm sure that could go a long way for Washington again if you keep the turnovers down. I know that's something we've been saying all year. But yeah, it's with New York kind of getting fully back to health. Obviously, still missing Ionescu, but man, they can't help New York beat them. You're already at a deficit. You just you said it's a championship caliber team. These are the type of teams. Every little mistake you make, it's magnified because it's not if they make you pay for it. It's a matter of when.
You said it, man. So we're gonna see, man. This will show them exactly where they are and how far they need to go. You know what I mean? Or if they just further ahead than where they even realize. These are the type of games where you gauge yourself, man. You know what I mean? Because like I get it. The Dream are 9-4. They played the Liberty tough. I get it, but they haven't got it done yet. So they still trying to figure it out. The Liberty their core have gotten it done before. They know what it takes. So it's a different ball game. Most of their rosters between like 28, early 30s. That's why they're pacing themselves, and they're still figuring out how to win games because they got this up here, and they not even running with teams. We're not even gonna play the athletic game until we have to. We gonna out execute all of y'all on both ends of the floor. They got off to a rough start with a new coach, but would you say 6 straight wins? They figuring it out. So that's what I mean, man. But yeah, what you said, self-imposed things. Can't have 22 turnovers against the Liberty. That's gonna be a beatdown, like you did against the Tempo. You were able to get out that win, late game winner. If you let Stewie or John Quill, one of them ladies, go off, like how you let Mabry go off in the fourth quarter, it's gonna be a beatdown. So you got to fine tune a lot of things on both ends. Don't turn the ball over on offense. and you can't have all that many defensive breakdowns on defense against high quality player like they did with Mabry, especially tonight. You're going to lose. It's as simple as that.
Hey man, agree wholeheartedly. You guys enjoy this afternoon's game. We'll check in with you guys afterwards as always. Mrs. Nova,